but they're very smart. They do a nice job of avoiding fouls and keeping teams off the free throw line.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. LeBron and Bosh are the 3 and the 4. Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. And it's Anthony in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Wade. It's hauled in by Nowitzki. And Steve, you brought up the fouls. Part of it, Clark, is that they aren't overly aggressive on D, but another part is they're maybe too careful, too.
Yeah, you got to have the right mixture of aggressiveness and caution. You want to strike a balance there. Dallas isn't going to shut any team down with their D, but they're not giving games away either with silly fouls, and that's how you got to approach it from their standpoint.
Here's Wade. The dish to Chalmers. James. And he drops in the layup off the glass. LeBron's now got the first points up on the board tonight here for the Heat. Outside Kidd. Back to Chandler. Lifts up. And a great assist by Kidd as that one goes in.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
You know, when you talk to people around the Mavs, prior to last season, they had a choice as to whether to acquire Al Jefferson or Tyson Chandler, and they chose Chandler, and they're happy about it.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spolstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
Guys, he told me that he tried to convey to his team that he wants them to play with some freedom today. I said, have fun and try to give these fans something to remember, namely some aerial action at the rim. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. Tyson Chandler had a very big impact on the Mavericks defensively. In fact, Steve, they said he was the soul of that team.
I thought Tyson Chandler completely changed the culture in Dallas. I mean, they were a decent defensive team without him, but with him, they were one of the best in the league. He clogged the lane, he rotated, he protected his teammates, and he gave them a toughness, kind of a swagger at the defensive end of the floor that they didn't have before.
Jason Terry, he's checked in for Rudy Fernandez.
You know, you go back to the finals, and I think Bosh certainly was a factor on the floor. He didn't have the best shooting percentage, but he got better as that series wore on.
And that one falls for Bosh.
Well, going back to Bosh, guys, in the finals, he was inconsistent with his shooting percentage, but he had stretches where he was really good. And remember, he hit that game-winning shot in Game 3. I thought he was overall pretty solid for the Heat last season and in the playoffs.
Releases from 15. Nowitzki, no good.
Cannot count on him to miss a good look like that very often.
Terry gets called for the reach. That's his first foul.
Jason Terry. First personal foul. Team's foul.
Here's Wade, guarded now by Jason Terry. And here is LeBron. That's good.
You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
Well, the West has long been considered the stronger of the two conferences in the NBA, but Miami, with its revamped roster, really had no problem beating Western Conference foes last year.
And they're able to recover. Here's Chandler, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. You're right, Steve. Going back to Miami in the West, 20-10 against that Western Conference. That was kind of a rarity, Clark.
Yeah, Kevin, and if you compare their numbers against the West versus the East, the Heat had a much easier time putting up points against the Western Conference opponents.
He can't complete the three-point play.
I'll tell you what, Tyson Chandler was the perfect fit in Dallas because his ability to protect the rim and to rebound was really a great compliment to Dirk Nowitzki's scoring.
Here's Terry. Drills it from outside. And that ties it up.
even when they're D'ing him up, I mean, he's a very good shooter from out there.
When you look at that Mavericks front line, Clark, with Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler, plenty of length, both of them about 7 foot or plus.
Yeah, and you look at Tyson Chandler, I mean, he's actually a long, rangy 7-footer, and teams like the Lakers have really made it a prerequisite to have that size on your front line, and the Mavericks can match up there.
And one more foul, they'll be over the limit.
Certainly don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to give away free throws the rest of the quarter.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Chandler. Marion comes in for Caron Butler. And Barea subbed in for Jason Kidd. That one goes. Count it. 6 points for LeBron.
You know, you look at the stops in Carlisle's coaching career, guys. I mean, almost every year he's good for 50-plus wins, no matter who he's coaching, but never able to get the team all the way to the top until last season. You can't help but be happy for him.
Here is House. LeBron against Nowitzki. Wade outside. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Now back to Rick Carlisle for a moment. You know, it's funny because he had trouble finishing off strong seasons just like the Mavs, but they were able to accomplish their goals when they got together and brought home the title to Dallas.
And he makes the first.
You know, when you watch Wade in recent years, he's really developed an outstanding post game with a lot of moves at his disposal, and it's based on excellent footwork.
Rudy Fernandez is checked in for Jason Terry. He makes 1 of 2 that time. And Clark back to Wade in the post as you brought up. He has all the tools, don't you think, Steve, to go right at guards, right in that low portion of the lane.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade can pretty much do whatever he wants on the floor. I mean, he's got such great ability athletically, strength-wise, speed-wise. It makes him almost impossible to guard. And I think as you see him get older, we'll see him more and more down on the block, particularly if he works on that footwork, a la Michael Jordan late in his career.
Gets it to go.
How about the energy he puts into crashing the boards, guys?
And Haslam kicks to Bosch. Marion with the steal. The Mavericks trailer. Now the pass to Haywood. Over Haslam. Haywood, no good.
Good, tough defense there. Getting a hand up, forcing that miss.
Well, he's got the reputation of being a tough defender, and there was an example right there for you.
Well, Miami had such a turbulent season last year as far as the drama that surrounded that team. But they were consistent and steady on the road, and they ended up with the best away record in the Eastern Conference.
Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The Heat leading by 4. Here is House. Marion outside. Marion with the steal.
Tried to use the pump fake there, but the defense didn't buy it.
Nowitzki for 3. The shot, no good. And Miami will go the other way with the ball. And back to Miami. You know, Clark, road trips aren't easy when you're the villains of the NBA. And there's no doubt that wanted poster in the NBA has got a picture that Miami threesome out there. Huh?
I agree, no doubt about it. But I think that also helped them come together. You know, teams typically do a good job of bonding when they're on the road. That us against them mentality, nobody fool you. And quite honestly, really good teams and players enjoy winning on the road more than they do even winning at home.
Marion is whistled for the loose ball foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
LeBron James. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. So both teams making some changes here. Good on the second free throw.